array. When we have small data and small models like post in this case with only 2-3 properties, it is okay to have this validation data inside the controller. But for building scalable large APIs, it is always good practice to move the validation into a separate place, which is called form request class. Now, let's create this form request class. I'm going to execute PHP artisan make a request, and we're going to give it name store post request. So this is the name. I'm going to hit the enter. A new class was created under app HTTP requests. This is store post request. Let's open this and have a look. This is a basic class. It extends form request. It has two methods out of the box, authorize and rules. Authorize determines if the user has permission to make this request or is authorized to make this request. I'm going to change this into true. I'm allowing user to make the request. Inside rules, we're going to define all the validation rules we need. So I'm going to open post controller, take these validation rules from here and put inside rules here. Okay, then we created the post request. Awesome. That's all what we need basically. Now let's go inside the controller and I'm going to change this request into store post request. Okay, we only changed the class and now the request is instance of store post request. And we don't call validate anymore here. Instead, we call validated, which returns validated data done by these store post request rules, what we defined here. Now that's all what we need to change, nothing else. It's going to work in the same way. However, we can define much more rules right here. We can even customize messages, which is something I'm going to do also. I'm going to define right here public function messages, and I'm going to return an array where key is the property name. As an example, title. And the value is customized message for the title. Title is required. Okay, we save it. Let's go into Postman and send post creation request. Now, because I am passing title, it will simply work. Let's do this. It works. That's right. Now I remove the title. By the way, it created second post. Now I remove the title, hit on send, and now we have the following message. Title is required. That is the custom message. By default, if I comment out this, I'm going to get the default message. The title field is required. All right. So I can even customize the rules for, or excuse me, I can even customize the messages for specific rules. Like I'm going to duplicate this. For title required, we have the message title is required. Let's put commas here. For title.string, we can have title must be valid string. For title.mean rule, we're going to provide title must be at least, and here we can write either two chars, okay? Or if we don't want to duplicate these two, let's actually try it first. We don't have the title, so we have this title is required. Now I'm going to return the title and I'm going to provide only one character inside the title. This is going to be just P. Or let's first provide an integer value, hit on send. We're going to get title must be valid string required, and one more error. So we have basically a couple of errors at the moment. This summarizes all of them. Here we have separate errors. Title must be valid string. Why do we have required here? I don't know. And then title must be at least two chars. All right, now let's change this into string. Oops, that should be double quotes. Oh, come on, okay, P. Now send the request. we have title must be at least 2 chars. Instead of having these two hard-coded here and here, we can use colon min. That colon min will be replaced with the actual number what we have here. So I'm going to save this, hit on send, and now we have at least 2 chars. If I change this into 4, then we have 4 chars here. Okay, so this is how we can customize messages not only for a single property, but for different rules of a property as well, which is really helpful. At some point, if we decide that we want to allow tags or something else on the post as well, which we decide that we want for sure, and we're going to define the rules, such as tags as an example. Let's say that we allow user to provide multiple tags on the post. Let's remove this sysadmin because we don't need this anymore. So tags, let's say it is an array, and we provide a couple of options, like the post is for PHP and it is for Laravel. Okay, we provide multiple tags. Now, how we're going to validate this? Okay, I was trying to save this request. We're going to save this a little bit later. Let's provide this post title 1 and 1 here. All right, so now let's define these validation rules. Tags, actually, we can provide array. We have array validation rule. So we provide the tags is an array. All right, and then we can provide tags. Actually, let me use single quotes. Tags dot and then asterisk, which means every tag inside this tags array should be whatever we decide, like string, and the minimum should be 1, or minimum should be 2 characters, right? So I'm going to save this. Now this is actually valid, right? So we're providing tags, which must be an array, and each tag has at least 2 characters. If I change this into 1 character, like L only, and send the request, now I'm going to get the following message. The tags.one field must be at least 2 characters. So this is how you can also validate an array type of data in your requests, which is something we probably don't want in our project because we don't have tags in the database. We don't save that, but I wanted to show this information to you. Right now, because I removed tags completely, it doesn't matter. Laravel will simply neglect that property and will create the post without tags.